This is a $25 bottle of whiskey, and this is 100 times more expensive. Today, we're gonna be blind tasting 5 different bourbons at varying price points to determine the extra cost is always worth it. Now, the way I'm gonna be scoring these whiskeys today, got a little score sheet here to keep track, but I'm gonna be ranking them by aroma, taste, mouthfeel, finish, but then an overall score. I'm gonna do 1 to 10 on all of those. Then after, I'm gonna double that score I give it, and that is going to be the total score out of 100. Now, each Glencairn is gonna have a sticker on the bottom with the letter. After she pours the whiskey into it, she's gonna write that whiskey onto the key. That way, after I finish ranking all the bourbons, I can look at the key and see how stupid I really am. So first, we're gonna be starting out with whiskey A. So I'm getting a little bit of vanilla, some caramel in there, and just a hint of nuttiness, and maybe just a dash of coconut as well. There's not a ton of complexity. I get a little bit of evolution of flavors as I keep sipping it. There's definitely some strong oak influence because I'm getting a little bit of those tannins in there. I gave it a 7 on aroma, 8 on taste, 7 on mouthfeel, 7 on finish, and overall an 8, bringing the total score to a 74. So letter A is Four Roses single barrel strength. This is about a $120 bottle of whiskey. I thought I liked it more, but I guess it just was not delivering what I was looking for. Now it's time for whiskey B. So on the nose of B, I'm already getting a lot more soft vanilla, maybe a little bit of coconut. There's kind of some rum similarities in there. I wonder if it's a rum finished bourbon. Let's get into the taste. So on the mouth on B, I'm getting a lot of vanilla. There's a nice sweetness to it. It's really balanced and easy to drink, but overall, it doesn't punch you in the face with flavor. So this is something that I would drink if I'm just not trying to think too much, or if I'm occupied doing something, I don't want to dig into a whiskey. This is a fantastic choice. So for the scores, I gave it a 7 on aroma, 7 on taste, 6 on mouthfeel. I think this is a lower proof whiskey, and it just doesn't coat the palate that much. It drinks kind of thin. 6 on finish, and overall a 7, bringing the total score to a 66. Whiskey letter B was Wild Turkey 101. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised I gave this one a 66 because I love this whiskey personally. It's a great drinker. It just wasn't delivering the level of flavor I guess I was looking for today. Now it's time for whiskey letter C. So the nose on C is really good. I'm getting cherry, I'm getting some caramel dipped apples in there, and just a really nice sweetness to it. So the nose on C is incredible. I gave it an 8, but once I tasted it, it kind of fell short a little bit. It still had good flavors. It just wasn't as pronounced as I thought it was gonna be based on the nose. So I gave it an 8 on aroma, 7 on taste, 7 on mouthfeel. This one also just drank a little thin than I would like, but it was better than the last one. 6 on finish, and overall a 7. Meaning the total score is a 7. Letter C is going to be Old Forester 1910. Now this one I thought was great. It's an easy drinker, but there's just not a ton of complexity for me. Now it's time for whiskey letter D. So as I continue to dig into this D, things are continuing to evolve, and there's just a lot of complexity in this one. On the nose, it's dark fruit, brown sugar, and a little bit of oak. And on the palate, I'm getting vanilla, definitely a lot of that dark cherry as well, and a little bit of caramel sweetness. And the mouthfeel is incredible, and the finish lasts quite a long time. So for whiskey letter D, I gave it an 8 on aroma, 9 on taste, 9 on mouthfeel, 9 on finish, then an 8 overall, leaving the total score at 86. Now whiskey letter D is gonna be 4 Gate Andalusia Key number 2. Now this one I thought was great. It had a lot of that cherry influence, which this one is actually finished in sherry and dark rum cask, so maybe that's where I was getting it. Overall, this was a fantastic whiskey, but it does go for about $200. Now it's time for the final whiskey, and that is letter E. Let's see what we got. So the nose on E is absolutely incredible. I'm getting baking spices, cherry, almost like a cherry pie in there, little graham cracker, and I cannot wait to taste this one. The palate delivers everything that the nose promised. It's got that cherry pie in there. It is so rich and delicious. The finish just seems like it lasts forever. It definitely punches you in the face. This is definitely a high proof whiskey. I think this might be one of my top dogs sitting on the shelf right back there. So score wise, I gave it a 9 on aroma, 10 on taste, 9 on mouthfeel, a 10 on the finish, and overall a 9, bringing the total score for whiskey letter E to a 94. Now the top dog on this list is George T. Stagg. Now this bottle is a $1,000 bottle of whiskey. You can find this for $100, always buy it. This thing is fantastic. I gave it a score of 94. I mean, the second I drank it, I knew exactly what it was. It's just so distinct. It's got that amazing Buffalo Trace signature cherry sweetness that really no other distiller is able to capture like Buffalo Trace is. I'm kind of bummed out that nothing else was as high a score as this, but I'm also not surprised. I mean, this is one of the best whiskeys you can get. So is it worth $1,000? No. But is it really freaking good if you can find it? Absolutely. And I gave it a score of 94, so take that as you will. If you're wondering, hey, okay, what are 5 bourbons that I should absolutely buy? Well, check out this video right here. Build your bourbon bar for $250. That's it. It was great having you guys today. Cheers.